Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, I want to personally welcome you to I Am Fifth Incorporated, which is I Am Financially Independent Firm. Okay, that's what we believe in here. Today we have a very interesting topic. If you see me veer over, it's because I came with notes. Okay, definitely want to give you guys a lot of game. We're going to be talking about an article that I read. We're going to be going over some history, what the problem is, and then we're actually going to give an option as far as a solution. So a very educational video. Okay. Today they made an announcement on, they had to make a decision with the debt ceiling. All right. And we're going to be talking about Social Security. Okay. Now, Social Security is America's retirement plan. Okay. But before we talk about that, I want to give you, like I said earlier, a history as to why Social Security came to be. Because to be honest, why do we even care about Social Security? Well, it's the best retirement plan America has ever created. All right. But if you're a millennial like me or any younger generation, you've probably heard multiple times, or at least once, that we're not going to receive any Social Security. Okay. But do you know why? All right. So let's look at the origin and talk about how it affects current retirees as well as the future generations. All right, so the Social Security Act was passed in 1935 by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. All right, it was created as a safety net for the elderly, the disabled or disadvantaged, as well as the unemployed. Today, we're only going to be talking about the retirees, the elderly. Okay, so for retirees, the lifetime benefit that you received was based on how much taxes you paid during your working years. Okay. So the more you paid in taxes, the more you received for retirement. All right. And I honestly think that's a pretty good theory. You know, it sounds pretty good. You know, the more that you pay, the more that you receive. Makes sense to me. But here is where it gets sticky, and it's not a conspiracy, guys. This is all fact that I'm giving you. But with most things with our government, there's always smoky mirrors. All right. So when it was established in 1935, you could not claim any Social Security retirement benefits until age 62. Okay. It's the same thing right now as of June 1st, 2023. But back when the bill was passed in 1935, can anybody guess what the average life expectancy was? I'll wait. It was 62 years old. I mean, honestly, it's so easy just to do some of this research. If you don't believe me, go fact check me. Go to Google, type in average life expectancy in 1935. So our government was promising us a benefit that they were not expecting us to receive. And if we did, not for very long. Okay. So fast forward to today. What is the problem in 2023? Well, the average life expectancy is now 79 years old. So are we starting to see an issue and why the media is saying that we are running out of money? Okay. It was designed for us never to receive the benefit. They designed it for age 62. People are now living until about on average 79. All right. So how can the government continue to pay this benefit when they never intended to pay it in the first place? All right. Now, this is the problem. This is why people think we will not receive Social Security by the time we retire. All right. But what I personally believe, I don't think Social Security is going to go anywhere, because when voting time comes, do you think the elderly is ever going to vote for getting rid of Social Security? No, it's just not going to happen. No. So what's the solution? That's really what everybody's been coming to the table trying to, both sides, Democrat, Republican, Independent, everybody is trying to figure out a solution for Americans' best retirement plan, Social Security. And that's what the hype is about today. It's actually a little bit quieter than I thought it would be, because this is major news. Now, the article that I read specifically, it was called The Debt Ceiling Deal. This clause is bad for Social Security. It's on Market Watch, and it highlighted a few things. Okay. So first, Social Security is funded 100% by payroll tax contributions. Okay, we mentioned taxes earlier, but it's actually your payroll taxes. So if you're getting a payroll of any kind, if you're a working employee, W-2, you are putting into this fund for Social Security. All right. Currently in 2023, the deficit is $80 billion. So they are paying $80 billion more than what they are getting in these taxes, these payroll taxes. All right. Next year, they're expecting that benefit almost to double. The deficit to almost double to 150 billion. And by 2026, they're estimating about $20 billion. Now, they're expecting that the trust fund, that's where the Social Security money is held in a trust fund. They're expecting that to run out completely by, there's estimates saying 2032. There's more, backing that they think it's going to last until 2034. But either way, we're going to be looking at the next 10, 11 years before we're out of money for Social Security. So, why is that deficit rising so much? Okay, let's just think objectively for a little bit. Well, to start, the pandemic didn't help. Okay, a lot of people lost their jobs. 17.75 million people in our country lost their jobs. Okay, which again doesn't help with funding the Social Security Trust Fund. Okay, 17.7 million people lost jobs. They're not able to put into the trust fund for Social Security. People are living longer. People are just living longer. Okay, we went over that earlier. There's also a new threat with AI. AI is predicted to take millions of jobs in the next decade. And our generations, the newer generations are living longer. That's just due to health and the advancements in our medical field. Okay, so without any changes, again, 2034 is when they're probably going to cut benefits drastically. All right, so what were some of the solutions that were brought to the table? All right, there was really three. All right, first of which, people wanted to cut benefits for the elderly. Okay, so not get rid of them completely, just lower it. And again, I was in mortgages for about 5 years. All right, mortgage lending as a loan officer. And people, not everybody, but a lot of people really rely on their Social Security. They're on a fixed income. Okay, so they don't have any additional sources to get anything else. Inflation is a killer for people on fixed income. So not only is inflation rising, they're talking about taxes rising, and now they're talking about cutting their benefits, cutting how much they're actually bringing in. So that can hurt them dramatically. All right. Now here's where it could affect, working generations like myself. They actually suggested raising the retirement age. Okay, right now it's 62, 65. But they're talking about raising the retirement age. Could you imagine, they didn't give an exact number, but 70, 75 years old, having to work, that's the new norm. So, and honestly, raising the retirement age is just another way to cut benefits. That way they don't have to pay you as long and they get some more money. And then the remaining few people at the table wants to raise the payroll taxes. Okay, that's again where it can affect us. We are going to have to pay more in taxes. All right, so they said lower the benefit, increase the age for retirement, or increase taxes. So either way, it doesn't matter. If you're an American, this affects you, which is why, again, I'm so shocked that this is not bigger news. Okay. Now, do I think any one of those things are going to happen? Not only one. I probably think it's going to be a combination of the three. I don't think that they can just raise, the retirement age until 79. People aren't going to go for that. I don't think they're going to jump taxes to 18%. I don't think people are going to go for that. So I think it's going to be sort of a combination of all three. Now, it was funny. Even in the article I was reading, they're so desperate to make up the difference. They're even thinking about putting this money, this trust fund money, into higher risk stocks. higher risk stocks. My question is, what safeguards are they going to put in place when there's a downturn in the market? I'm not going to go into this long, but I had a client last year. She lost 66% in a year. Okay. I want to give you guys an example. If you have $100,000 in an investment in the stock market, you lose 50%. How much money do you need to make? How much of a return do you need to make before you get your money back? If you say 50%, that's wrong. You actually need to make 100%. You always need to double what you actually lost. Okay. So, for example, 100,000, 50% loss is 50,000. If you make 50%, 50% of 50 is 25. 25 plus 50 is 75. So you need to double what you actually made. So my question is, what are they going to do? Because we all know, yes, the long term, the market has historically gone up. But what about those downturns? What about those downturns for the people who are ready to retire that year and there's a downturn in the market? So I think that's very risky. But that was something else that was brought up. Now, again, one side of the table say taxes are too low. Other side of the table says taxes are too high. Again, either way, taxes are too low or benefits are too high. Either way, the American people lose. Let's see. So if you're planning on, using Social Security, I just think that this was very valuable information, something that you definitely need to know. Now, I did say I want to give you guys a possible solution, definitely some education. But if your retirement plan is Social Security, I need to ask you, how long are you going to rely on the government to take care of us? Again, Social Security was never intended to take care of us. If they did, they would have had the retirement age of 52. At least give us 10 years. They had it at the expectancy of life. The death is at 62. Average death is 62 years old. That's when you retire. So how long are we going to continue to expect the government to take care of us? Okay. The option that I want to let everybody know about is a way where you are completely independent from the government. You do not need to be reliant on what they do with Social Security. If you get it, it's just icing on top of the cake. But if not, at least you still have a cake. All right. So I'm very vocal about the two strategies I think every American needs. We're only going to talk about one of them because it's perfect for replacing Social Security or being a supplement, or it's very comparable. Okay. It's called a fixed indexed annuity. All right. We're going to call it FIA. All right. Just for short, FIA. Now, what is an annuity? Okay. That's a lot of words. A lot of people may not understand it. If you do, great, but we're just going to go over it real quick. An annuity is a way to liquidate your estate. Okay. Basically a systematic way for you to receive payments later in life, usually during your retirement years. Okay. Now, why do I say it's a perfect supplement for Social Security? Well, let's talk about this specific type. There's a lot of different types of annuities. My personal favorite, the one I talk about the most, is fixed indexed annuities. So the FIA is a contract between you and the insurance company. Okay. There are two phases to every annuity. You have an accumulation phase where your balance is increasing, and you have a distribution phase. Okay, that's where you start receiving periodic payments. All right, so it's almost like a light switch. You have your accumulation phase, it's on, and then you turn that switch off and the distribution starts happening. Okay, two phases to your annuity. Now, specifically with your fixed index annuity, how does your cash grow? How does your balance increase? Well, fixed index. So it's an indexing strategy. All right. Simplest terms is basically the insurance company will invest your money for you. Okay. But the neat part about it is there's a 0% chance of loss. So when the market goes down, you don't have to participate in any losses. But when the market goes up, you do get to participate in those gains. So how does that work? Usually, what's the catch? Now, the only catch that I can think of is if the market goes up, let's say 10%, you may only get 7%. All right, the insurance company is going to take that 3% as a buffer for in taking on that risk for the losses, for the down years. Okay, now that's all great because a lot of people have asked me, how can I invest my money and have no risk of loss? This is a great option for that, but that doesn't necessarily supplement Social Security on its own. Okay, so for each one of these FIAs, fixed indexed annuities, you need to make sure in the beginning of your contract that you have what's called a guaranteed income rider. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. You need to make sure at the beginning of the application with the insurance company that you have a guaranteed income rider. Okay, so what is a guaranteed income rider? Well, that's what makes this strategy comparable to Social Security. Okay, guaranteed income rider makes sure that the payments that you start receiving in your distribution phase never stops until the day that you die. Okay, so let's give an example. You have $50,000 built up into your fixed index annuity, your FIA. You're ready for your distribution phase. The insurance company says, we can give you $1,000 a month. All right, so after 50 months, your account balance is zero. On that 51st month, how much are you going to be getting? $1,000. You will continue getting that $1,000 even though you don't have any money in your account. Now, that is not the case if you do not have that guaranteed income rider on. The payments would stop. That's what makes this so powerful. This strategy legitimately allows you to never run out of income, even if you run out of money. This strategy is so powerful because not only does it compare to Social Security, it will allow you to never run out of income, even if you run out of money. Okay? So I hope this is starting to open your mind because you can begin to create a pension for yourself. How many of us would love a pension? Okay, guaranteed money that you're going to receive that you can never outlive. Tony Robbins wrote a book, Money Mastered the Game. He did interviews with a lot of the best financial minds. And the number one fear of baby boomers is not death. Death is far lower as number two. The number one fear is that baby boomers are going to outlive their money. If they knew about this strategy, they would not have to worry about outliving their money. Okay, and this is actually the first time I was exposed to that. Now I'm actually able to offer fixed index annuities. So it was this strategy is just an option. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do. This is not financial advice. This is just education. Okay, I wanted this to be, I just wanted you to be exposed to something new. All right. I just think that it could be very powerful in a time where our country is going to eventually, unless something drastic happens, is going to have to file default. Our country is going to have to file default on all of their debts. Okay, they're talking about increasing taxes, increasing the retirement age, and lowering our benefit. Now, wouldn't you like to add certainty in an uncertain economy into your personal financial plan? Independent of what's going on with the economy, independent of what's going on with our government, with our country. That's something that's available to you, okay? Now, again, if you found anything in this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. There's going to be a lot more content like this. If you want more information about this fixed index annuity, you want to see if this is a strategy for you, my information is actually in the description box. You can reach me either on Instagram or Facebook. Send me a DM, let me know you saw this video, and we'll go ahead and have that conversation. But until next time, thank you all for tuning in. Remember, I love you all. Let's grow together.